welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Episode 7, Best in Show. I'm Denali.
I am Ryan.
I'm Jason. I'll be showing a Pickerneese Snickerdoodle, bred right here in the beautiful state of Washington.
Now the Snickerdoodles, is that the ones with the two noses?
Yes. And 8 feet.
8 feet long, or with 8 literal feet? I don't know a lot about them dogs.
Both giant, humongous creatures.
Is this one of them grocery cart dogs with the big has a big grocery cart on its back, and it kind of looks like that cat from Totoro, and it kind of goes around the store and you load up its back full of groceries?
It can in fact do that, yes. They've been trained specifically for that.
Is this true that these dogs are descended from KGB agents that were turned into dogs for Russian missions in the 1970s?
That is absolutely... Thank you for bringing up this historical, beautiful fact about these dogs. That's why I find them so beautiful. You know, yes.
Yeah, I have an interest. In these Snickerdoodles.
They respond mostly to Russian.
To Russian?
Correct, the language.
Okay, what do they eat?
Ground up people.
Capitalists?
Yeah. Enemies of the state. And also, like watermelon rinds. Like the
watermelon rinds? I'll probably be feeding mostly those, just for logistics. Is it difficult with the fall of the Soviet Union to keep these things fed, with the enemies of the state and all, from a purely semantic standpoint, to keep them fed?
You know, we
do they differentiate between capitalists and modern?
They smell different, but they go down both the same. Yeah.
Okay, and watermelon's still good though too?
Absolutely. They love it.
Just stretching this bit so
Jesus.
This is like, wow. It's like the ring wraiths where they just get stretched so thin they become invisible. That's what happened to our dog bit.
Oh, man.
I thought we jumped into another improv session. Like, ooh.
Our podcast is just shown in improv theater groups as kind of like an OSHA PSA of like what not to do.
What not to do.
Step 1, don't entrap your friends into doing improv.
Or do.
People seem to like that sometimes. Jace or Ryan, I've been liking having one of you guys explain what we do on the show. Jace, do you want to do? Actually, you've been doing it for a little bit.
And not well. It always requires.
I mean, you'll get better.
It's like letting your cattle out into the field, or like you need a bunch of goats to graze, and then they didn't do anything, and they ran off, and you're like, oh fuck, okay, Jace, we gotta.
I believe in you. This is like an improv jazz session, man. I just finished up a sick sax solo, and I look to you, and you're like the trumpeter, and it's time for you to whip out a solo from the heart.
Okay.
Don't even think about it. Straight from the heart.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. We are 3 just sexy ass dudes for review. You told me to. It's
all right. Keep going. It's good.
We're trapped in the metaphysical space of a movie mansion. Random locations in the house named after actors or movie themes. And we binge 10 movies of a specific theme and discuss them and rank them and tear them apart sometimes, drive ourselves crazy. I lost my train of thought. Yeah,
no,
I think that's it.
Yeah,
we watch movies, and there's a very, very weak explanation for why we're forcing ourselves to watch 10 movies at a time.
Yeah, that's a you know. We pick a theme, we pick an actor, we watch 10 of them, we go a little crazy, and we have that metaphor that Ryan and Jace mentioned. This time around the wheel, we're doing dog movies. We're on episode 7 of The Doghouse. We watched Best in Show this week. We've been watching a lot of dog movies. We say this every week, but I don't think people understand what this is like.
It's a lot of dog movies. Well,
It's like a lot of dogs.
So one dog movie, you're like, okay, that's a dog movie. Now I don't have to watch another dog movie for months.
Yes, exactly.
Years. we're watching dog movies every week, guys.
Yeah.
For 7 weeks.
It's a lot, because how often does a dog movie come out in theaters? Because when you see like a theatrical commercial for a dog movie, like what are the feelings that go through your body? Like to me, it's like a drop in.
Yeah, this is this year's dog movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I do not give a fuck about this movie. And I want to move on. But we can't move on because we have the constant threat of another dog movie coming down the chamber for us.
Yeah, if we don't gobble this dog movie up quick enough, we're not going to be able to take a breath of air until another dog movie comes down to shoot at us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think like 5 or 6 dog movies are coming out in 2021.
What? Can you name them out?
Hero Dog, The Journey Home, Dog Gone Trouble, Clifford, the Big Red Dog. We don't deserve dogs.
I'm seeing that shit. I'm renting that on HBO. That's tight, dude. I'm actually okay. We can talk about this and save the podcast where we do our dog show, our best in show.
Our dog show.
I think that'll be great. But Clifford so far, I think has been our boy, aside from Air Bud. As far as
we'll see. We'll see about that, won't we?
Yeah, we will. But I was kind of thinking about our seasons. I've been listening to our previous episodes, and I was thinking about the idea of reskinning some of the movies we watched with all dog casts. You know, like how would those movies change, and would they be better?
Would they be actual dogs, or would they be like kind of like talking dogs, like in that one scene in Snow Dogs?
Right. And I think there's some cases where it has to be talking dogs, like because for example, we talked about our pitch for Dog Wick in Air Bud, I think, or John Dog, however you want to say it, where it's flipped, like a movie like Armageddon, where you have a crackpot team of 8 dog oil drillers, who are astronauts, and they go to space and go to a dog strip club, and you have Doggo Smith doing the soundtrack.
Or Gone Dog.
Ooh, Gone Dog. Oh, that actually works though.
A dog runs away and frames his owner.
Oh, that could be like one of those things where, your parents are like, oh, he went to a farm upstate, but, something else happened. Like he got hit with a mail truck. And maybe
there's a lot of dogs around here.
There's
upstate New York, there's dogs everywhere. All those dogs that the families have sent upstate over the years, can't get rid of them. We want to send them back downstate.
So I'm thinking of like Dog Devil or Dare Dog.
Oh, Dare Dog.
I think that's pretty good. A dog who's blind, who also practices law with like a bark to speech type of thing.
Nice.
Or would it be better if everyone's a dog and he's not the dog who practices law and also happens to be a superhero?
I think it would be nice if, all the named characters are dogs.
Okay.
But not every person in the world. It's not like a Cars situation, but with dogs.
Yeah, because if there's a blind dog beating the shit out of people, are people going to draw a line to the blind dog who knows how to practice law and understands human concepts?
They'll be like, it could literally only be one dog. There's only one dog capable of vengeance on this scale.
Is it the one dog who's like really buff and knows how to use
the bar and went to law school?
It just kind of doesn't. Yeah, there are colleges that have given people's dogs honorary degrees.
Oh yeah,
for going to every law school class with them. Yeah, so there's somebody
I love
who
that.
had a guide dog and attended every law school class, received an honorary degree. But it just doesn't work if the dog is blind, because then it can't be a guide dog.
What if the guide dog has a guide person, or the blind dog has a guide person, and the dog goes to law? Or wait, how about this? The blind dog has a guide person. The guide person goes to law school. They give an honorary degree to the dog, or at least they attempt to, but they accidentally switch the diplomas. And so the dog gets the actual degree, and the guide person gets the honorary degree. And then there's some other similar mix up, and they're like, well, we have to admit him to the bar.
Is this your idea of the origin story of how Dog Devil came to be? But then he's still a regular dog. It's just an administrative.
that's right.
Why is he fighting crime?
They put him to it. They're just like, go.
Okay, what's a McConaughey movie we could reskin?
Sahara Dog.
That'd be my favorite for sure, but I think you just need the name Sahara.
You probably, It doesn't. Not all dog movies need a dog pun in it. Yeah, it'd be cool. You know, he's like a Navy SEAL dog.
I'm gonna lose a dog in 10 days.
Oh, God.
The dog just loves the guy, and the guy's just trying to make the dog hate him.
No, that's awful.
Trying to make the dog run away, and he leaves the door open like every night.
That is the saddest movie idea I think I could think of. Ghosts of Dogs Past. Oh, that's another bummer.
Oh God,
that's another bummer.
Or Dog of Girlfriend's Past, and the
Dog?
guy.
Oh,
Yeah, the dogs show up, and it's like, yeah. For when you dated my owner.
Dogger Stellar, Enter Dog.
No,
You know where
no, not Enter Dogger.
Enter Dogger.
No,
Where he's a
I think
pilot.
Any of these movies, if there are people
The dog
and
get
dogs involved,
confused.
where we get romantic comedy involved, is an absolute no.
Okay, if
What about Lady and the Tramp?
if the other person is a dog, it's okay. I'm not saying this
The
dog is
person is a dog.
falling in love with a person, dude. Like we've had this conversation before on this season. We want to stay away from conversations where it goes that direction. But this is specifically a dog who falls in love with another dog, which is totally fine. Lady and the Tramp came out in the mid 20th century. It's established. So if we had for example, the Wedding Dogger, both J-Lo and McConaughey have to be dogs.
And who does the dog plan weddings for?
Humans.
They're dogs.
Other dogs. So it's dogs all the way down, Jace.
See, this is the
Okay.
we're getting into kind of the I don't know if it's tropic, where these movies like All Dogs Go to Heaven, where dogs have a completely different society with humans and somehow coexist and follow the same like established cultural norms. I think that detracts from dog movies. I want just dogs.
You want dogs in the human world.
No. I think the dog movies for me are going to be a hit if
Like a
every
Cars
character is a
situation.
dog. Yeah, I think I'd like the dog Cars situation.
So dogs.
There are too many questions about why a dog is a wedding planner if she has to follow her human around, you know?
Like, I was thinking kind of like a Planet of the Apes scenario where there was like a flu that kind of wiped out all the humans, and then the dogs became really smart.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Planet of the
dogs.
dogs.
Planet of the dogs. And then the dogs kind of just resumed all of the shitty things we do.
Wow. You know, now that we're watching a bunch of crappy dog movies, and not that there's a lot of good doggies,
There's plenty
are a lot of good
Ryan.
doggies.
good dog movies to go around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of untapped potential here
Yeah.
for people making these wacky dog movies that don't have to be just for kids. Can we get some more adult dog movies?
Like my pitch about Air Bud, who curses and does drugs and sometimes kills. What if we had a movie called Airman, and it's a guy who plays basketball on a dog team?
Oh, there's a dog basketball team, and they're like, my human is really good at basketball, so they take a human and put them on their dog basketball team.
Yeah, and they're like, no rules say a human can't play, and it's like the Puppy Bowl or something for basketball. And the human subs out and crushes the other team.
Hey, remember in the scene in Air Bud when the human, the evil human, purposely fouls the dog?
Elbowed the dog? Yeah.
Yeah.
In this movie, would it be a dog like purposely biting?
Yeah.
I think it's Air Bud does hit a guy in the nuts in Air Bud.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
Air
was a
Bud.
good movie.
Fuck, I want to watch Air Bud again. Hey, guys, can we pivot to an Air Bud season?
I think you're going to be disappointed after the second or third, and then you'll regret ever
I
uttering
don't think
that
so,
sentence.
Jason. I don't think so. Because I want to see how this motherfucker uses a baseball bat in a baseball game.
Oh, the baseball one was gonna be weird.
How does he catch an 80-mile-an-hour fastball? How does this dude tackle? How does he like do all these other sports? We've already discussed this in the Air Bud season, but I want to see more. I just want to see more.
Wait, how many just Airbuds are there? When did they pivot to his children? Was
Something
it
like 4 or 5.
4?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then his Spawn take over for like 10 movies. It's insane.
That's a prolific series.
And in that universe, the dogs can talk.
Yes. Yeah, the dog
So
can't talk.
if
Yeah.
Air Bud
Mhm.
had sons and daughters that could
Yes.
talk,
Yeah.
then why could Air Bud not talk?
The mom could talk probably.
Or
And he could play sports.
it's one or the other.
Well, that's why they met, because they probably went to like some dog conference where they're like, "Did your dog do something cool?" And he's a professional athlete, and the other person is a sentient dog who can talk and has human emotions and understands complex topics.
What are the chances it was a human who was turned into a dog? A la Shaggy Dog.
So now we're running into the same problem, Ryan, where we
Yes.
have a human falling in love with a dog, which we are so desperately trying to avoid.
But if you... okay, 100%. But if you, let's say, by some chance, a human is turned into a dog.
Okay.
And we're like certain that this change is permanent.
Oh my! This is the Animorphs conversation again, where Jace wanted to fuck other red pandas.
I didn't want to fuck red pandas. I said that.
It's in print, Jace. You can't take it back.
No.
He said he wanted to
edited
repopulate.
my words. I said that they had low population.
Yes, and you wanted to do your part.
It was purely about the thrill of living amongst a species that is dying out, not anything to do.
Okay.
So in that situation, would there be a pass?
No, dude. It's still okay.
Because
I'm gonna have to vote on a pass because if
you
you've
get
been
turned,
permanently changed into a dog, you can't vote a human.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't vote a human.
Oh my god!
You're
This
also
is
saying now that you can't vote a dog.
Ryan, we have, instead of beating around the bush, we have bulldozed right through it, the bush I was trying to desperately avoid. And now here we are in this fucking conversation about the ethics of Animorphs having sex.
No, well, they're not really animals. They're okay.
They're permamorphs, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would only be okay if they also requested another human to be turned into an animal. Then they could have
Oh, there we go. Loophole.
loophole, baby. It's okay.
You have to find someone else who's in the exact same situation that you are.
Yes. Otherwise,
What if it's an animorph and they can go back and forth between being a dog?
bingo, dog. That fucking works. I think that works, right? Does this check out?
So one permanent dog. One part-time dog.
A dog.
So wait, so if 2 animorphs go into animal version, is everything okay?
No, this is exactly what I wanted to avoid, Ryan.
That's like Teen Wolf. In Teen Wolf, there's a whole thing about this where the like head mean cheerleader lady, she only wants to do the deed with our boy when he's in werewolf form.
But is she a werewolf too?
No.
See, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yums, but like, I don't know. It does rub me
What
the
did
wrong
you
way.
just say?
I don't want to yuck anyone's yums, you know? If someone wanted to bone a werewolf, I think an eyebrow would be raised. However, I realized that everyone's got different yums, and I don't want to yuck them. All I'm saying.
Like that.
Okay.
You know what?
Issues resolved.
Okay, we can discuss this. If one of us becomes an animorph, we should agree that.
No, that's what I'm saying. This needs to be figured out beforehand.
Oh my god. Okay, fine. If it's another animorph who was a human at some point, I think it's okay. I think if it's just don't have sex with animals, please.
Animorphs talk. When they're
Animorphs when they're no, I don't think so. I think it's telepathic or some shit.
Oh,
So
right.
Probably writing if they can like have complex movements. Like if you're like a clam, I don't think you could write. But if I was
anamorph into a clam,
An alley.
me, that was my choice. So if I met another person who was also a clamamorph, maybe we tried doing it as clams once. But
you know what?
It's not-
You get a free pass if you're a clam, okay? Because I don't think clams are doing it with anybody or anything that isn't other clams.
right, but I don't want to jump into a clam orgy and just bone a bunch of other clams.
Oh God.
I'm hitting the ejection button. I'm hitting the eject.
I've got a dog.
Okay.
I was making myself crack up. It's probably a shitty movie pitch, but I think the Deli Dudes need their first dog compatriot.
Oh, yeah, and then we can flesh a lot of these ideas out.
Okay. So
hit them with the audience in the test audiences, and we'll see what happens.
No, this is not a shoe-in for more. Go ahead, Jace.
Okay. So, the Deli Dudes are in their home base, and we've got our, I don't know if I can say it because we don't want to get hit with like a trademark, or copy somebody.
Right.
We've got a superhero sitting in the fridge with a colander on his head, and Lettuce Knight comes in and he's like, have you found any other Deli Dudes that we need to go save and bring to our store? Like Xavier.
Oh, the guy who speaks to bread and can read bread thoughts.
Yeah.
And uses it to find other deli people. Okay, go ahead.
Find other deli people.
The guy who wears a colander.
I just figured he had to wear a hat of some kind, and it seemed right.
Wasn't it like an Olive Garden bread bowl? Wasn't that the
It might have been it. Yeah.
audience? Please watch Surviving Christmas. I think that's the episode where we flesh out the Deli Dudes if you're lost. But go ahead.
And we're pretty well established into the universe, or in series, probably episode or movie 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And somebody asks him, "Why have you ever searched for a not human with deli powers? Like, what if the salami gene got transferred to another?"
Oh.
And he's like, "Oh, I'll reach out," and he uses his powers to reach out, and he sees a being with cataclysmic, world-ending power, and he's like, "Oh, we have to find it." And he dispatches the Deli Dudes, and they end up in rundown, normal Americana. And there's this dog that is playing with a tennis ball, and the dog is picking up the tennis ball and levitating it and throwing it, and just playing by itself in the trailer park. So holy shit, this dog has telekinetic powers. And then, okay, we'll bring him back. Why is this dog so? What's the problem here? This dog is the cause of annihilation for the world. We've got to bring him in, we've got to train him. And they train the dog, and they teach him how to use his telekinesis. And we see his journey until they get into some kind of battle where they have to go into space. And then the dog sees the Earth because it's a ball, and then he shoots the Earth through space. And they're like, "No, we created the monster that destroys us."
So it has the ability to control ball objects. Because Earth is big ball, it shoots the Earth away
and
to fetch
the
it.
dog would have never known that the Earth was a big ball if they didn't take him into space.
So they took him into space because he could levitate other balls.
I don't know. They had to fight the bad guy.
You have to go to space. There's like a space Godzilla or something.
Yeah.
It's not anything to do with deli stuff, but it is ball related, I suppose.
Well, there's always there's deli cats and bodega dogs.
I had to. It just popped in the head. It wasn't really.
No.
Yeah, sandwich.
I think that's a good idea. The bread man who can speak to bread, he's our Professor X in a way.
Yeah, he's the bread whisperer who can read bread's minds. I feel like a regular dog would be a great nemesis to the Deli Dudes because they're all made of food, and I just think a regular dog would go to fucking town. Have you ever seen a dog react to a hoagie before? I've watched dogs before, and there was a hoagie on the ground, and boy, let me tell you, that was the fight of my life. To get the dog.
Okay, so maybe not the Deli Dudes specifically, but Ball Man is in the universe of the Deli Dudes, and
right.
This is a hard counter to Ball Man. Yeah,
pretty much just our shitty superhero universe. I like Shitstorm.
That's a potent idea, Jace, of dog dog. Okay, obviously there's dog superheroes like Underdog, but like obscure powers in dogs.
Right. Like the humans, people joke about like humans having superhero powers that are not very good. And that's what our Deli Dudes is like we have a guy who can shoot rubber bands off his fingers like fairly accurately.
Yeah, really good though. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a guy who can transform into ball shaped objects. We have a guy who is made of lettuce and
can grow lettuce armor.
Also shoots lettuce.
I think
generates
he can grow
lettuce
lettuce
as much
anywhere on his body in any
as fast
shape
as he needs
wishes.
to.
Yeah.
He's a
And
class
he can
5
use it
dude.
to, like,
He might
he can
look
use it to,
like us
fly.
and then, need to make a shield out of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you have a
And then we have a guy who poops a lot.
shitstorm, it's not a lot. He opens his anus portal to the shit dimension.
Yeah, forgive me.
Did
Yeah,
anyone
so
ever
what
ask
if
him,
there were...
Is that E. coli? Have you been eating the sandwiches we make?
No, the portal opened one day once I ate that sandwich.
And so when we run out of good sequel ideas, like
Which is soon.
in Star Trek 6 or something, it would be the Deli Dudes looking for mundane superheroes, but that aren't human.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
it would
good
be
idea.
like a telekinetic hamster or something, or like a cat that can just ignite its body like Human Torch and just run around and like burn people.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. Like, but with a mind of a cat.
Oh right, yeah.
We call him Hellcat.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good. And you have like a laser pointer, so you like take it out of the cat and then just
dude. Yeah.
have it run around.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
Add to the list.
Have we done a what type of dog are you quiz?
I was going to ask what kind of dog you guys would be, but I didn't have a.
I think we've talked about what dog we'd be, but we haven't done like a quiz because remember we talked about this.
BuzzFeed. What type of dog are you quiz?
You say BuzzFees?
BuzzFeed.
One was just published this year.
I might have said
Oh,
feed,
shit.
but I don't know. You guys let a lot of really stupid things come out of my mouth. Where I say something that's like 90% of a normal saying with a word fucked up or reversed. And I'm always like, I do it almost every episode, so I think at this point it's just commonplace.
BuzzFees is actually the website that sells cannabis products, but has like clickbait captions.
Okay, guys, let's figure out the question. And what better movie
This is a
than
great
Best
movie
in
for
Show to figure out what kind of dog your co-hosts here are. We've known each other long enough.
Yeah.
Do we want to answer these questions ourselves, or do we want to answer them for each other?
Let's answer them for each other because
Okay, I'll go first. I'll be the subject first. Like, imagine I'm in a dog laboratory.
yeah.
You have to, and for some reason, I've been knocked unconscious, and the only way for me to regain my mental faculty is to put me in a machine at this in this dog hospital that turns me into a dog. Okay, and the machine has a little iPad there, and on the iPad are a series of questions, and it wants to know what kind of dog you want to make me. Like it'll match you with a good dog breed for me. Okay, so question number 1, folks.
let's make this fast. We gotta review it again. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. It's Friday night. What are your plans? What do you guys think? What are my plans? There's like 10 options, so I'm not gonna read them.
Oh, 10 options. Friday night. Oh shit,
drunk.
this is hard.
I'm getting drunk. Am I getting drunk with other people or am I by myself?
By yourself.
I think it's generally other people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with party time.
Okay, party time.
How would you describe my body?
Oh, I feel like this is difficult to answer for other people.
No, you just have to click the button. Small, athletic, tall, thin.
Small,
thick.
athletic. You're kind of thin right
Small,
now.
athletic. Yeah, pretty thin. Pick a color.
There's a lot of blue
I feel
in
like
your
this
room.
is
And
okay.
How much do you guys know about me?
The color of your
just-
eyes.
Maybe you should do this quiz. Like we should do. I feel like this is too hard.
Pick a color.
Blue.
What would the name of my memoir be? Here's some options.
Why I
Okay.
killed my 2
dat
friends that I
ass.
host a podcast with.
Wait, what?
Dat Ass. How I Learned to Love Myself. Eat, Love, Eat More. This is a weird quiz, you guys.
Ooh, yeah,
Is
let's
this
just do
BuzzFeed?
it once.
It is BuzzFeed.
Probably Dad Ass. I think that'd be
I'm picking
something.
Dat Ass. What's my go-to dance move?
Ooh, are you a sprinkler guy?
Okay, I'm gonna find the sprinkler. You know what? There's something that's similar. There's a fist pump.
Okay, that's pretty good.
What kind of exercise do I prefer? There's literally 9 options for every one of these, and I'm not going to read all 9 off.
Oh my god, this is hard for an audio medium. Okay.
Like, middle right row.
Middle on the right, running around excitedly. I like it. Oh, pick an author.
Okay.
Nicholas Sparks, David Sedaris. Oh, I like David Sedaris.
Nicholas Sparks.
Thanks, guys. Which pop star do I identify with? Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Cher, Lorde, Selena Gomez, Rihanna. Anybody? Is anybody home?
I'm thinking. Seem like a share. Kind of like a
do
little, more mysterious.
What's my biggest pet peeve?
Your dog shitting on things that aren't yours.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
isn't that fucking annoying? So I'm gonna say the patriarchy.
Okay.
Finally, how would my friends describe me? Artistic, larger than life, introverted, comforting, adorable, loyal, high maintenance.
I like adorable.
Adorable. Thank you, bud. I got a chocolate lab.
Oh, that's it. That's a likable dog. I like chocolate labs.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right. I'll take the chocolate lab. I don't think I'm gonna win the dog show.
Yeah, that's the thing about like dog shows, because like, I mean, I feel like I have a bias towards certain dogs. Like, for example, like I love like Australian Shepherds and like healers and stuff. I feel like if I would see one out of a dog show, I'd be like, fuck yeah, best in show. Like it would be difficult because there's I'm not going to say it, but there's dog breeds I'm not a big fan of. And I think I'd have a bias against them. And maybe I'd be known for that. Like, oh, he doesn't like fucking poodles or some shit,
I think they would just not let you be a judge.
That's like one of my nightmare scenarios is being a judge for a contest I'm not qualified for. Everyone getting mad.
All right, Jace.
I ran through it. I'm a pit bull.
Oh.
Mr. Worldwide.
Probably
You
just
got it.
because I said I was thick and tight and muscular.
Nice. Denali, do you want us to do it for you, or do you want to do it?
I'll do it. I think it's easier. I'll just say what I'm doing. What's the quiz?
It's easier. It's literally called "What Kind of Dog Are You?"
What kind of dog are you? Okay. Friday night, what are my plans? Sitting at home. Next question. What would you describe your body? Let's see here. Oh man, there's not Pillsbury Doughboy on here. So I will pick thick. Please pick a color. I like blue. What would the name of your memoir be? Okay. Life of the Misunderstood Hero. Perfect. Go-to dance move. Twerking. Type of exercise do you prefer? Ooh, shit. Okay. Hottest new trend. I'm a trend follower. Pick an author. Okay, here we go. David Sedaris. Which pop star?
You guys didn't pick.
Yeah, well, too fucking bad. I got the steering wheel now. Pop star, Beyonce. Biggest pet peeve. I think pimple poppers. How would your friends describe you? Maybe needy.
This should be a question for me and James.
Man, just answer it however you feel,
I think funny would work fine if you want to choose funny.
Well, I don't want to be presumptuous.
You try to be funny at least.
I got lab. Got a lab.
Oh yeah, we're hanging out.
Says you could be a bit messy and come on, little strong, but extremely loyal.
So
I'm
James,
a ride
it's
or
off
die.
of the town for you.
Yeah, off to the.
I'll rip your fucking hand off.
That's exactly why.
Me and Ryan are the chill, cool dogs that take IG photos. Well, people do that with pit bulls too. All right, good shit. Now we have BuzzFeed because BuzzFeed told us our personas before, and now we have our dog personas.
None of us are winning best in show. We got 2 labs and a pit bull.
Yeah.
You know what? Good, man. I don't need those pretentious dog show.
I am in possession of, I don't know what I'm supposed to call it. People don't want to say own, like when you're talking about dogs and stuff. Like,
Right.
There's a dog that lives in my house.
Okay.
And he's a purebred. So he could actually be like in dog shows and stuff, like, I think technically. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I think they do like pure. I don't know anything about dog shows.
But there's not like a mutt category.
Even aren't mutts like healthier too? They have just less like birth
100%.
defects and stuff. I mean, I learned, I think, most of what I know about dog shows from watching this movie yesterday. So,
and the issue is with I think dog show people might know as me, of course, but I don't think every dog is cut out to be a dog show dog. You know?
oh no, right? Because isn't it about like kind of their stock? Like they're kind of bred a certain way, right? Or they have to like the way their mouth looks and the way their face and shit looks, right? Because they're checking them out, like their body and like the way they're
it's like lineages of dogs. So like even though you have a purebred dog, I think it's hard to come into the scene without like the son of a dog who already won the Best in Show before.
I definitely got that vibe from this movie. I always thought dog shows were the ones where they like kind of jump through hoops and do like fun obstacle courses. Not the ones where they just kind of look at them and see how good they look.
Oh, those are probably like dog competitions.
Yeah, those are way better.
This is like a car show. It's not like a car competition where you're racing cars.
I want to see dogs like bench pressing and stuff. Like I want to see fun stuff. Like Air Bud, he would be more fun to watch in like a dog competition, like an NBA championship.
How much do you think like Air Bud can squat?
Squat? At least a basketball. I would
dogs squat a lot, or is it mostly like they have strength
really
because
have the
their legs
for
are
it, right?
Yeah, right. Like their joints are locked.
Yeah, you'd have to change the exercise because that's not a motion they do. But that brings into another question I had, because like how there's bodybuilding competitions for humans. Mm-hmm. Like, what if we had competitions of bodybuilding
shows?
Yeah, but like dog shows, but how muscular can you get them? Like how?
That's a beautiful question for a veterinarian and animal steroids.
Oh no, and that's I think
it's unethical.
I'm veering into that lane of questionable ethics but okay, what if the dog definitely wants to lift weights?
We went to the gym store and he was just barking at the dumbbells.
What if the dog was like so into lifting weights, like he would go nuts, like kind of like huskies with dog sleds, they love to run. Like, what if these dogs love to fucking pump iron and eat like steamed chickens and shit?
You guys imagining them like actually lifting the weights with their paws?
Yeah, like the Rock style, like they have, probably doing like some band like explosive, kind of exercises.
Dogs would probably use bands for that. That would be a lot better, I think.
Yeah, and then if they
piling the weights on the dog.
Ooh,
yeah. See how much? It's terrible.
This is really fucking stupid.
This is scrap this bit. This is bad. Let's talk about the movie. Whose turn is it to do the synopsis?
Unfortunately, I think it might be mine.
I think it is, Ryan. Your pick too. I think this is a good chance.
Yeah, that's fine. That's karma.
Yeah.
Oh man, this season is killing us.
Yeah.
I think I'm losing it. All right, you doggy dogs. This week was a venture back into the real world. And we got some real dogs. And we watched Best in Shows from the year 2000, believe it or not. And it's a mockumentary by, what is his name? Christopher Guest, who you guys might know from This Is Spinal Tap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of his stick. He makes fake documentaries that seem really, really real until you kind of recognize some of the actors.
He starred in this movie too. He was the redneck guy.
And so this mockumentary is about a dog show and the people who attend it. And the idea is that the people who attend dog shows, or are technically participate in dog shows, are not the most normal of people. And so they send camera crews to each dog's house and follow them in the lead up to the dog show. Now, our main dogs are, what are our main dogs? We have the Bloodhound.
Yes.
Which
Good
is
boy.
owned by a country fly fisherman. We have the Shih Tzu, which is owned by Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
Creek fans. And then we have they own the terrier. Then we have the weird neurotic couple who like are absolutely hilarious. And they have what's called a Weimaraner?
You know these dogs, man. I didn't even realize what these were.
Well, it's on the list, buddy.
Okay, yeah. Was this Jane Lynch and Jennifer Coolidge?
No, that's a poodle,
Parker
dude.
Posey, Michael Hitchcock.
Anyways, and there's another one with a poodle, and they do various things. And each family prepares for the show in a different way. And they're all weird. They're all weird AF. And by the time we get to the show, the families are falling apart and nothing can be really salvaged except the commentator for the entire dog show is Fred Willard. And he plays the part of someone who does not absolutely does not know what a dog show is.
That's fucking hilarious.
Like if we had Denali host a dog show. And throughout the movie, one dog drops out after another until we are awarded best in show. And it's a charming movie. It really is. I thought it was way better than what I expected, but also it's nice to just see dogs being dogs.
Mm-hmm. Real dogs.
The dogs were like, yeah, let's make this clear. Like the dogs were not cartoons, and they didn't
real
have
dog
like,
shit.
Funny animated mouths. It was like
Airbook.
We haven't seen a real dog in a while.
Yeah, so it's Airbud.
Yeah, well, those
dogs had real dogs, but they were funny mouthed and stuff.
Yeah.
There were only 2 scenes in that movie where the dogs were funny mouthed, man.
It was bullshit, Jason. They shouldn't have had it in the movie. They false advertisement. These dogs were nice too, dude. Like they look like show dogs.
Yeah, they're good dogs.
Yeah. I was really taken aback by this movie because I did not expect like this brilliant improvisational, extremely dry humor mockumentary. This is like proto The Office, and I think that's kind of the reason why it maybe didn't take off in the 2000s, where comedies were kind of like, whoa, I stuck my dick in a banana. Whoa, is that like, you know, I'm thinking of American Pie, what Eugene Levy was like literally in the year after. This is kind of an understated comedy, and I thought it was hilarious. Like
the jokes landed so hard because you never saw them coming. When someone was talking, you're like, okay, this is just a normal human being, and I'm watching. Sometimes I would be like, I'm watching a dog documentary.
It was so real, and like the opening scene is like this people in couples therapy where they're like, oh yes, our Beatrice caught us having sex, and it was like such a tense scene, and it just pans, and it's like they're talking about their dog. It's like, and that couple was so fucking good. Like they're playing off each other, and there's so much tension. Like I thought the acting was just amazing.
And so I didn't realize that it was mostly improv until afterwards, which is I think absolutely hilarious. I wonder if they had a lot of B-roll footage that they could have like made another movie out of almost.
They had a great scene of it's Harlan Pepper, the fly shop owner with the bloodhound. There's a cut scene from this movie where he is talking to the camera about his beach ball collection. He's like, this is where I keep my beach balls. And he opens up the shed. It's just jam-packed full of inflated beach balls. It's like, yeah, the insurance agent didn't know how to value it, but he said it was worth a lot of money. This is one of my favorites. Discontinued in 2000.
That sounds exactly like what they would have. Yeah, it's shit like that was just brilliant. Like because they mimicked totally fucking mundane conversations you'd hear in real life, like you're a fly on the wall.
Yeah,
but also just added this absurdist like bent to it, which made it so much more entertaining.
And I think so. My read of the movie is that, at least what the goal they were trying to do, is they took people who were very passionate about something, but were otherwise completely uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that had no interesting qualities about them, except they're very, very into this dog show.
Yeah.
And so when you put that person in front of a camera and the dog show topics run out, what is that person going to talk about for the next 5 days? It's going to be really boring stuff. It's some of the, like, normally in a movie, when you watch a movie, you're like, oh, this is exciting things happening. But this movie is funny because nothing funny is happening. We're waiting for something funny to happen. And the end of the scene just like, it switches scenes to a different scene. You're like, nothing. There was no jokes. I would just laugh my ass off.
Yeah, I think that's exactly you put into good words there. Like there's a scene where they're at like a barbecue and he's like, we're thinking about going to Philly and going to see where the cream cheese is made, and the guy's like, no, shut up, hey honey, they're gonna go see where the cream cheese, and they're all like so excited. I'm like, what is this scene? Just like this blandest, most boring bullshit.
And then, because there's my favorite scene in the movie, and the only scene in the movie where I think there's like, they actually like on purpose told a joke and it needs to land right now.
Yeah, was
when they were at the. So there's two characters, Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. They go.
They're so good together. Yeah.
They go on their way up. They stay at people's houses that they know so that they can save on hotel rooms. Well, one of the people they stay with apparently had sex with Catherine O'Hara like 3 years prior to this. Well, right. And so it's like a really awkward situation, and that's like how they know the guy. And the whole time they're there, he's like hitting on her and stuff, But they're at the kitchen table, and the four of them, or I guess five because the guy's son's there, and they're talking about this guy's job. And his job is he's a hostage negotiator. And he's just the worst. He's like the most boring person ever. And he's a total, he's full of hot air. And he's like, you want to know a secret? You want to know a secret from the trade, what they don't tell you? They always jump.
It was so fucked up. He's like, they're talking about the dinner table. Everyone's like so uncomfortable.
To me, the joke is that he's so terrible at his job that he's never able to talk someone down. And then later, literally like a few seconds later, the kid, the son, who's like obviously abused, kidnaps the dog and takes it on top of the shed out back and is threatening to jump off. And with the dog, because this is a whole longer story. The parachute on the dog.
Yeah, he had a parachute on him. Yeah.
The kid likes to attach parachutes to things because his dad's around following people a lot, I guess. And the dad runs up and is like, "Okay, come down right now. If you don't come right down, I'm gonna shove my thumb through your left eye. I'm gonna gouge your eyes out if you don't come down right now."
He's like, wait, honey, I know exactly what to say.
I think that scene is just like that one. I mean, those jokes must have been at least talked about because damn, if those guys can improv that's so good.
That was, that whole thing. And then also just like you said, with the tension with Catherine O'Hara's character, because that's kind of a recurring joke is that she keeps meeting like the same looking bald men who she had like relations with in the past. Yeah. And Eugene Levy's having to sit there while these guys are being like really like forward with how attracted they are to her. And he's like sitting there and she's like, oh yeah, she's a real devil, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah.
The setup for that in the beginning of the movie was one of my favorite scenes. That's hilarious. Like, oh, they're sitting down and they're being interviewed, and he's like, oh yeah, she was we met each other at the dance. She Cookie, she had few dozen boyfriends, and she did. Man, looking at the camera, she's like hundreds of boyfriends.
Hundreds.
And he was like, "What? I didn't." News to me.
Then just that interplay, the tension of that scene, and then all culminating into like the hostage to go. That was just so fucking good.
I was not expecting this movie to be as adult as it is.
Really? Like you thought it would be more like dog gags?
I thought it would be like dog jokes, things like that. It's really adult. This is a movie for adults.
Yeah. If you've ever been an adult that's like really annoyed and bored with boring ass adult conversations, this is the movie for you. I feel like this is a heavy satire of that.
Yeah, you mean if you've ever like worked in an office?
Yeah, basically. It's like, oh yeah, the weather was great on the way down to Pennsylvania, and then it kind of cleared up, and it kind of stayed that way, and now we're here. And like that's a conversation in the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
Yeah, and like that's.
And I'm laughing the whole time.
Yeah, it's like these people totally understand the art of the mundane. Yeah. Just the absurdity that comes from it.
Did you... Okay, this is the question I want to pose to you guys. Did you pick up on? Oh man, now I'm realizing this is coming back to the same old stomping grounds. Did you kind of pick up on a sexual thing between the owners and their dogs?
Yes.
It was weird. Like everybody kind of acted like the dog was the third person in the relationship.
Yeah, like it was almost like it was more than a child. It was kind of like I was uncomfortable. There was like an unspoken discomfort with how they talked to them. Yeah, and I feel like they didn't make it explicit on purpose.
Right. The terrier song got really weird. I think that was kind of almost there. Yeah, that was. Anyways, I don't have to mention every single scene in the movie.
No. And also, Jane Lynch was in this movie. I feel like she's been in every comedy from like 2000 to now. It's just wild. Every time I watch a comedy, it's like, oh, there's the obligatory Jane Lynch character being like a weirdo. And her scenes pointed out, I think, another great aspect of this movie was unspoken tension between characters.
Yes,
because
totally.
Within 3 sentences of just a mundane, they'll be talking about carrots or some shit between these two people. But within that conversation about carrots, that you can see so much tension about past arguments, insecurities in their relationship, all this stuff. And I feel like that's reflected so well in every interview on the side, where it's like you learn so much about them just from nothing, basically.
Yeah, and it's kind of how if you have a conversation with somebody and the person really has nothing to talk about except for events from their personal life and like their actual relationships, they'll do things like that. They'll drop it like, oh yeah, me and Terry got the RV going, and finally that thing's been sitting in the yard for 6 months.
It's like,
Terry's like standing right there. It's like, I work 60 hours a week, Beth.
Yeah, it's like, well, maybe if both of us worked, it'd be fixed. You know why I don't work. And they kind of think it's back and forths like that is, I think they captured it really well. And it surprised me that it's so improv.
Yeah. So Fred Willard, I think, is an improv genius. Fred Willard plays the commentator for the dog show, who has never seen a dog show, except he apparently has done this before.
Yeah, he worked it the year before. The commentator says,
really?
I think you said that one last year.
That's hilarious. I love that. Yeah.
The whole Sherlock Holmes thing is so good.
Yeah. What if he had a hat and a pipe like Sherlock Holmes? I think that would really... Yeah, and that like British guy who's the other British host who's just not having it. Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot to say about the plot of this movie.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm coming down to.
Because it was kind of like Dazed and Confused, where it was a slice of life. You see a loose arc of a dog show happening. Things are falling apart and coming together. And even though these people are unself-aware and kind of jokes, they are portrayed with a lot of heart, I feel. Like you can see their passion, and they do seem like real people to me. Like they seem like people I've met. And I think it was done with a sense of like empathy, I guess. Because it seems like they're really well fleshed out.
Yeah, from my perspective, I think that the other people in the movie are normal. Or at least like we are the other people in the movie who aren't showing dogs at the dog show. So, for instance, the hotel guy.
Oh, right.
Who was just trying to accommodate all the hotel or all the pet owners. And the pet shop owner who was just trying to accommodate the woman who came in there for her dog toy. I think that we see ourselves as those people because they're judging the people, but they're not saying anything mean to them because they're just weird people. They're not bad people. They're just weird people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's just that I feel like they portray the people who do these types of things so well. I don't know if they hung out with them a lot or something. It's just, I thought it was pretty accurate in that sense.
And that's all I have to say about this movie.
Yeah, like if I were to talk about this movie to someone else, I would just be like, just watch it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty funny, and it's kind of like The Office in the sense where it just captures the mundane. There's not even really direct gags, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. I don't really know what else to say. But yeah, if you guys want to get into our Woof-O-Meters, I'm ready if you are, because I don't think there's much to dissect here other than what we already said.
The funny, okay, as I'm talking about this movie, I'm starting to realize, wow, we're kind of not very interesting. Or at least we're not like dealing with this in an interesting way.
No, I mean,
I feel like one of the characters in the movie who's just like describing their dog. It's like, yes, he has a tail and also a head and some fur.
it's hard to describe a movie that tries really hard to be boring and unremarkable in such a way that it's funny.
Right.
And because of that, I think there's not a lot to talk about. There's not really a plot that's like something we can pick apart or riff on, just because it's just a dog show.
Dog show. Have you ever seen a dog show? Like,
yeah.
Nothing happens.
That's what it is. All the characters, I think, aside from just the gags of the, like, for example, it's like, oh, I had 2 left feet, and he like pans down and he literally has 2 left feet. There's like gags like that every once in a while. But there's it's not like Scooby-Doo where we can just like, really pick apart the concepts. This is not a high concept movie. It's a concept about you literally bring a actual camera crew and just videotape these people. Like if I didn't know them as actors and someone told me this was just a real documentary, I'd be like, yeah, I might believe that with an exception of a few scenes.
Right. So let's jump in.
Do you guys know the name of the comedy club that all these people are from?
The Second City?
I'll believe you. Just my understanding that this is like heavy hitters from one improv comedy group.
Oh, that's it. Okay, that makes sense why Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara just worked together on a couple things. All right, Ryan, would you like to begin our Woof-O-Meters?
It would be my doggy dog pleasure. Is that weird? Is that too weird? Should I not say doggy dog pleasure?
Doggy dog? I think it's okay.
Maybe we hang around and talk about too many dogs.
I feel like we've normalized certain kinds of dog conversations after having all these hours about it, and I haven't had enough outside perspective.
I mean, we've spent about 14 hours talking about dog movies, plus the probably 14 hours we've spent watching dog movies.
Yeah, and talking outside the podcast about dogs.
And I have a dog. I don't quite know how to rate this movie because
what's new? We never know how to do the Woof-O-Meter.
Because I think a few weeks ago I went on this long tirade about would you rather dogs just do dog stuff or would you rather them be humans?
Yeah.
In the All Dogs Go to Heaven one night, you guys were like, yeah, but they weren't doing dog stuff. They were just doing human stuff, but they looked like dogs. And I was like, yeah, but that would be a really boring movie if it was just filming dogs having the normal life of dogs. And that's what this movie is. So I can't go like really low on the scale because that's like actually what dogs do. They sit around. But it's not dog full, right? Because the humans are really the stars of this movie. And so it's very difficult. I think if I'm going to rate this on a scale of dogginess, I'm going to probably have to shoot it right down the middle with, I would say, a 6. Because it's a lot of dogs. And they're talking about dogs. Mm-hmm. So although I would maybe hesitate to give it a 4 or 5 if they but the whole movie is about dogs. It's about dogs. It's a dog movie. It's easily a dog movie, but it's not very doggy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, right?
It's more of a dog movie than Scooby-Doo.
Well, okay. That's another conversation. But I might mention that in my review. So you got a 6?
I'm gonna go with a 6.
A 6 wags? 6 woofs?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can get Number of the Beast on this puppy.
No.
Jace
Jace shaking his head.
I'm gonna give it either. I'll go. You mentioned the theme and the topic and all the conversation pieces are dogs, but it's not really a dog movie. I don't think about dogs a week after watching this. I think about the comedic ability and the improv. I think like the majority of my favorite scenes and the things that I laughed at and I think about now somehow didn't have much to do with the dogs. I mean, Fred Willard is a genius, but hey, guess how much I bench press? I think the dogs were doing dog things, and it's like, I think I'm gonna give this a much higher movie score than the Woof-O-Meter. I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna center it at 5 because they had to have been very well trained dogs. They had to have been show dogs. So I gave Snow Dogs a good score because they went to local kennel clubs and got dogs that were well trained to mush. I guess I don't see why I shouldn't give this one a good score for all those dogs doing a great job standing and, running around.
Being dogs.
The volume is just... I think I'm more pissed off about this movie than the rest of them. This is a weird one. It's a great movie, but the lasting impression for me was not a dog movie. So if we weren't focused on reviewing dog movies, I think a week after I watched this, the standing point would have just been the character concepts and the improv. So I'm gonna give it a 5.
Cool. 5, and I think you brought up some good points that I might elaborate on too, Jace. For me, this didn't seem like, okay, yes, it's called Best in Show. There are literal physical dogs in there. They are doing dog shit, which is standing and pissing on things, I guess, and then they're in a dog show. But when I think about a dog movie, if I think about a movie that a dog lover would want to see in a theater, or like a dog lover would talk incessantly about, I would think probably more about Air Bud. I would think more about even Scooby-Doo or some of the movies that we've seen, maybe not necessarily Best in Show. When I think about what drives this movie, I'm thinking about the improv ability of the humans. I think about kind of the memorable scenes. I'm not really thinking about scenes with the dogs. I'm thinking about the conversations that the humans are having with each other. I think that kind of glues together the movie. Even though the motivating force is, these dogs, the thing that's driving the dog show is the humans. It's how they feel about the dogs. It's their relationships with the dogs. It's their perceptions. So I think this is more of a human movie, even though there's real dogs in it. How many times could I say dogs in one fucking paragraph? Yeah, Jace, down in front.
It kind of begs the question how we would rate movie like Sixth Sense on
dogs,
on aliens. Like,
wait.
Don't
Sixth Sense is about ghosts.
Oh, Sixth Sense would be a 0 on the
damn it. Wrong movie.
There was a UFO in the background, but they never built on it.
Shit, now I don't even know the
Signs.
Starts with an S.
Yes.
I don't even remember if you see an alien in that movie.
Yeah.
You do at the end.
Once. Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. This doesn't feel the same to me as Signs. I feel like the relationships,
what you're saying.
The mundane nature of this is more reflective about the humans, the hobbies they have, and the relationships they have with each other, not necessarily the dogs. I'm gonna give this a 3 on the Woof-O-Meter. It's gonna be a little low. However, to its credit, they showed real ass dogs in there. They were very well behaved. They put up with a lot of screaming by the other characters, and then being around a crowd and stuff. And they were nice looking dogs, man. They were show. I feel like they were show dogs.
It had to have been, because I have a normal non-show dog, and it does not look like that.
Yeah, so I'll give it a 3. But this is not like a dog person's movie. It's more of like a comedy, someone who likes mockumentaries movie. So
yeah, I might watch it again.
Yeah.
And I hate dogs.
Spoken like a true dog owner.
I should clarify. I hate my dog.
Oh, that's so much better.
Not better.
That's actually worse. I just realized, Ryan, Jace, we've been normally starting with you on these reviews.
I thought you wanted to switch it up.
We flubbed that one.
Okay, it was my terribly given synopsis, so it's okay.
Well, go ahead.
So you want me to jump into the movie meter? So for people who are confused about why we're re-rating this movie, we rate a movie about this week. This feels like a year. This season, we've been doing a Woof-O-Meter. So we rate a movie about how well it coincides with the theme of our season. So
how good was the dog? How much
doggy was this movie? We had the Ben meter for Ben Affleck and the McCommon-ometer for Matthew McConaughey. But now we're talking about how good it was as a movie. And I think Jace alluded to this, but I'm going to pump my score up, I think, to an 8. And that's, I think, broken off of the dog scale. So I think this is going to have to be a 9 for me.
Whoa.
Because I can explain why.
Okay.
Normally, I make the same statement every week. I don't think dog movies can ever be very good. Like, dog movies have a cap. They have a ceiling that they can't break beyond. It's just not fair for me to rate dog movies on my normal scale when nobody could ever get a 9 or a 10. So I think to take that into consideration, if I'm rating this as a movie, but as a dog movie, I think I'm going to go with a 9 because I don't really imagine there being a better dog movie than this. But I mean, I hope there could be.
You're saying this with the knowledge that Air Bud Spikes Back exists. Is that correct?
Well, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's very true. And so I don't have, once again, I don't have much to say about the movie. If you like this type of movie, you will like this movie. If you want an action movie or you want a comedy where, you know, it's set up punchline, or funny events happen, or the pratfalls, you're not going to like this movie. I was in a great mood. I laughed from the opening bell to the closing bell, and I'm going to go with a 9.
All right.
Oh yeah.
A great score. Jace?
I'll say right now, I'm dead set on the fence in between a 9 or a 10 for this one.
Oh, Nikes, man.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So I was kind of worried. I'm thinking about it right now. I don't think this had any of the faux pas, really, really bad jokes of the early 2000s. When I think about watching a comedy from the early 2000s, I'm always afraid that I might be inherently shocked by at least one of the jokes.
Right.
And I think they almost completely avoided that because unless you guys can bring something up, I didn't get hit with, which kind of makes me think that this could be a like timeless improv comedy movie. It wasn't like Chasing Amy or any of the Matthew McConaughey films, or I don't know if there was one films. Yeah, where it seems really distasteful or rude or
It was definitely a lot better taste than and probably any comedy that came out in that era, especially considering American Pie came out like literally the next year.
Oh yeah, beginning of the end.
That movie
99, my bad.
Holy shit, American Pie made 235. I'm always astounded by how much money movies make.
Budget 11 million. Holy fuck. People like seeing him fuck that pie. He does. I'm not even just joshing the time. He does fuck a pie. Okay. Go ahead.
I grew up watching, I feel like there was not one summer where I was in Pennsylvania where I didn't watch a dog show for whatever reason on Animal Planet. If I was literally just sitting in my basement not doing anything. So it was kind of funny to actually see all the dogs in the dog show. Some of the characters seemed like they were like the dog people that are just like their dogs. Same haircut, same style. I think I'm going to go with a 9. It's
a 9?
Probably not perfect enough.
Right.
In its essence. By God, the improv comedy of this. I could not stop thinking about Ryan when they were sitting in the fly shop and they were just talking about selling a map, and they're like, that's the nice part about it is, we sell them the map and then you tell them the best fly that's going to be used at that portion of the river at that time of the year, whether it be a woolly bugger or a smidge. And they named fly fishing. They named literally every fly you can imagine using in a river. And I'm like, this movie it would have been worse if it was scripted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of how angry I get when a movie has a chess scene and it's obvious that the people who wrote the movie or set up the scene know nothing about chess and don't even know how the board is set up or how the game is played, and are having the characters play, just move pieces randomly. I'm like, wow, you're spending millions of dollars to make this freaking movie, and you don't even care enough about it to learn the rules of the most popular game on the planet.
Right.
And so in this movie, it was the opposite. They cared enough about this movie to know the names of 30 different flies and be able to ramble them off like that.
Really good. That's a good movie. We didn't talk about Catherine Hera's breaking her knee scene at the end.
Oh God, it's so funny.
It's you fucked up watching her move, and it's hilarious. They did this. It's great. I don't know, man. Giving it a 10 doesn't seem right just because I gave it such a low score for a dog movie. But I think anyone out there would love this.
Cool. So you're settling on a 9?
Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
Nice. Yeah, I was caught off guard by this movie. I think it was something that it was way ahead of its time, kind of like Wet Hot American Summer, where it's just that type of kind of almost absurd humor wasn't hitting American audiences at the time.
My favorite comedy ever.
Yeah. This movie walked so that The Office could run, I think. The quality of the acting, the quality of the improv in it was really great. I had a great time watching this movie, and someone who's going to watch this movie, don't watch the trailer like I did, because the trailer spoiled almost every single gag in this movie, which I think kind of hurt my enjoyment. A lot of the laughs that I would have got, I think, fell flat because it just spoiled it. So don't do that. Go into this movie cold if you can. For that reason, I think I'm going to give it a 7, I think, which I'm pretty happy with. It was a funny movie, but it's not like my favorite movie. It's not a movie I'll probably watch again, just in my opinion. I don't really rewatch comedies, but I think as far as comedies goes, this is going to be the upper tier for me. It's something that I think it touches on a piece of American culture, or dog show culture, that I think really doesn't get explored. I don't think people make fun enough of mundane shit, kind of like a la Office Space. I really like that kind of humor. I really enjoyed this movie. So 7 is going to be a solid for me. But again, it's not going to hit those upper 8 or 9 things, because those movies are just profoundly affecting for me, at least in my scale.
That's a pretty good raw score for a dog movie.
I think it is, man. I think it's the highest average we've had.
By far,
This is one of the few, I guess with the exception of Snow Dogs, movies where a dog wasn't a major character,
Right.
I think that played into my dog score a little bit. You didn't have like Scooby-Doo, you didn't have Clifford or Air.
I think this is going to rival Clifford, at least so far, for the best movie of the season.
We got something,
which is not a sentence I thought I would ever utter.
Yeah.
But if you just like randomly dropping into this episode and have not seen Clifford, the movie from like 20 years ago, or at least listen to our episode on it, like, if you want to see us have our minds blown by a children's movie, like,
that's it.
That's the problem with Clifford, is that like it was good, but I literally can't recommend it because it's for 4-year-olds.
Yeah, it's like it's hitting that Scooby-Doo territory where the Scooby-Doo should have went all in and made an R-rated movie.
Right.
Clifford could have just dialed it up a little bit more and been like a Disney movie style, where it's like, they're rated G, but parents would still enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just like if we took some Gerber baby food off the shelf and ate it and was like, this is actually pretty fucking good. This is better than most like kid cuisine bullshit. But I'm not going to tell people to like eat the fucking spinach puree off the shelf because it's actually pretty good. Like, they're going to think I'm insane.
Hey, you need a nutritious snack? I got some for you.
But that reminds me of when I was hanging out with you guys in Washington, and Jace is just drinking Pedialyte.
Bro.
Hey, that is a thing, though.
No, it's totally a thing, but I didn't know about it until then. And I'm just like, okay,
just
Jace drinks baby food.
2 or 3 years ago, they finally started marketing Pedialyte for adults.
Yeah, I saw a commercial.
They've been missing. Well, I don't know that marketing it for adults really made anybody buy more.
If you know, you know. That's
if anything, it just saved some people's egos or something.
like, oh, thank God. Every time you're in like the grocery line, like, oh, the kids, man, really 10th weekend in a row, man.
They're fucking drunk.
Kid keeps getting into the liquor cabinet. All right. You guys down to get to the next portion of our podcast?
Oh God, I forgot.
Every week we forget. We're never done, Ryan.
Yeah.
We got to go to the Wheel of Chaos. Before we get into the Wheel of Chaos, I mean, should we tell? I think we can tell people that we're gonna have a guest star next episode.
Yeah, guest star is pushing it.
A guest individual, a friend of ours, Michael, is going to be joining us. We're hoping to implement maybe like one guest, maybe a season. If this works out, we'll see how this dynamic goes. But we'll bring someone on to kind of review the show, play around with us in this space. This will be interesting, I think.
I think it'll bring some laughs, even if you don't know Michael. Like, it's easy to get along with him.
Yeah, and so we've got our Wheel of Chaos. This is true chaos because earlier I was thinking we should just pick a movie, but now we're just gonna fucking let the fates
Oh, for Michael's episode?
For Michael, because I was like, he doesn't do he's like, we've had like 30 movies to warm up, and we know how to just take any movie, I feel. But he's never had a movie, and we're just going to throw him into whatever the fates throw at him.
He's listened, though. He's almost...
Okay.
He's
caught up with the show. If you want to slot on our show, just listen to every episode and tell us. We'll think about it.
Yeah, it's up on Twitter.
It is up on Twitter if you've listened to every episode. Well, are we doing the same rules here with our Wheel of Chaos? We're doing one.
We have to.
One veto, 2 ads, up to 2 ads.
One ad.
One ad, one remove. It's never been 2 ads.
Look at this guy.
What?
I just slipped one by.
I have got.
I'm not doing anything. So
I wanted to do Zoltan, Dog of Dracula so bad, but I don't think it's available in our country to stream
at all.
I couldn't find it on Amazon. We couldn't even rent it. But okay, yep, this one's good. Okay, cool. I've got my picks. Brian, are you ready?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything.
Okay. Then I will remove Turner and Hooch.
What? You know I'm coming at you hard next week. I'm putting it back on. That's fine.
And then I'm gonna add Man's Best Friend.
What's that?
An investigative reporter unwittingly brings home a genetically engineered guard dog. Only this guard dog can climb trees, attacks anything that moves, and you don't want to be standing by when he lifts his leg. That's the movie description.
What?
It's a 1993 horror movie where this genetically engineered dog. I think I sent you guys a link to this earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It looks fucking wild, and I think this would be a great movie to watch. I'm in the mood for a movie that's just totally ungrounded after watching this extremely grounded movie.
I'm gonna veto 101 Dalmatians. Change my mind.
All right, fair enough.
You guys are taking out all my movies.
You can add Ryan. It's not.
No, I'm not changing my mind. No.
You want to read off what we got on our list?
I'll read it off.
9 movies.
I'll take the Ring of Mordor. All right. This week on our Wheel of Chaos, which will randomly decide which movie we are subjected to next week. We have the contestants: Old Yeller, Cujo, Isle of Dogs, Rain, Airbud Spikes Back, Wiener Dog, The Shaggy DA, Homeward Bound, and
Come on, Ryan.
Sorry. And Man's Best Friend.
Man, if I had more votes, I would stack this with more Airbuds. What's fucking hilarious is that Airbud Spikes Back is like the 3rd movie, and we didn't even put the 2nd one in here. All right. So the rules of this portion of our show is Jace will spin the wheel. It'll make a clicky noise, and whatever it lands on, we will have to do. We get one shot at this. Let's say what it is once it goes. And that'll be the show. And I guess we'll tell Michael to watch this as well. Jace, whenever you're ready. Oh my God, it's going.
All right.
Airbud Spikes Back. Airbud Spikes Back is our movie.
Oh no.
Huh.
Okay, guys, now we have to make a critical decision. Are we going to watch the 2nd Airbud, or are we literally going to watch Airbud Spikes Back?
Are you worried that you're
wasn't on the list?
Are you worried that you're not gonna know what happens?
Yeah, the continuity. You know, like if Airbud has like kids or something, or you know.
Is there
What? It says also known as Airbud 5.
Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Let me look up.
Whoa. This might be Airbud 5, you guys.
Oh my God, we're totally off. But okay, but we cannot, guys. We cannot disobey the Wheel of Chaos because it wouldn't be a good idea.
No way, I'm not.
It's the only Airbud movie not to include Kevin Zegers, who is the main character. Huh. So I think this is out of the continuity. This is out of the standard Airbud canon. Whoa, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Because holy shit, the plot is Buddy finds that he also has the uncanny ability to play basketball or volleyball. Also, so it's been the same fucking dog.
It's the same dog.
Hold on, fellas, because I always thought this was just a different dog every movie. He's playing 5 sports.
It's supposed to be the same dog. Okay, this is actually number 5.
Rated number 2 on the Airbud plausibility ranking for sports the dog could actually play.
Okay, well, at least
There's a plausibility ranking?
Somebody made a list,
Someone send me that link, please. Because
basketball has to be number 1 because Airbud the dog could actually play basketball.
Guys, this is one of the lowest ranked Airbud movies.
It's worse than all Buddies movies, guys.
I love it.
What's crazy is that this is in the continuity of the movies. Are they going to be like, remember when he won the MLB championships? And now let's play volleyball. But,
you're worried about spoilers.
Yeah, I'm worried about spoilers, dude. Because if we do an Airbud, I guess we'll just have to rewatch him.
I'm not finding a Airbud movie that's rated lower than this.
Well, guys, the wheel has spoken. We will need to watch Airbud Spikes Back. Someone's going to need to break the news to Michael that he will have to watch Airbud 5. He can make the decision if he wants to catch up on the continuity or go in cold. The cover of this movie is hilarious. Check it out if you get the chance.
It's terrible.
It's really good. This Wheel of Chaos has bestowed upon us a gift. And please join us next week. See our review.
Please bear with us. Help us.
And watch Airbud 5. Really should have put the second one on that list.
There's, if you go on the IMDb page for Airbud Spikes Back and you go to the top cast, the third one is just a picture of a dog.
Is it Buddy?
No, it's like a guy named Tyler. He just wasn't in anything else. This is going to be terrible.
Well, with that, guys, we hope you join us next week. Thanks so much for joining us with this episode with our rendering of Best in Show. Let us know if you've seen this movie or plan to watch it, or if you have seen it after watching this. Tweet at us at GBGB Podcast. Find us on Instagram at Good Boys Gone Bland. And of course, throw us a subscribe, review, tell your dog about us. Did we already ask that? Did we already ask people to tell them? We do say that. It was who's left that they can tell?
Their dog could bark about us.
Tell your dog to tell other dogs about us.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't want to run into the issue where most of our audience is dogs, and we do a live show, and it's just 100 dogs.
Barking and there's fights and
it's not going to be a good. Maybe tell your dog walker about us. I think that's good. Tell your veterinarian, and if you go to one of those doggy washes where they shampoo the dog like a car wash. Tell them about our podcast.
Yes, please.
Any parting words, guys, before we sign off?
Don't get your dogs to play hazardous sports. Okay, these are trained professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's literally one dog who can do these sports.
Don't bonk your dog on the head with a ball.
Yeah, don't throw a basketball at him. Thanks for joining us, guys. See us next week with Airbud Spikes Back.